Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you guys to meet. This is Paxton DeLaurent. He is a quarterback out of Southeast Missouri State. Nice to have you, sir.
Thanks for having me on, Jimmy.
Hey, man, no problem. If people don't know you, they really should. Very prolific quarterback there at SEMO, some prolific, really prototype size. And Buddy had an awesome season. But do want to get a chance to meet you. So go ahead, introduce yourself, and let's get going.
Yeah, name's Paxton DeLaurent. Born and raised at the Lake of the Ozarks. Got the opportunity to play football at SEMO the past 3 seasons, and God has been so good to me. Got a great family, and just really blessed.
Cool. So Paxton kind of set the stage for us even more so. I am kind of curious because I know you grew up playing other sports, but how long have you been playing football specifically?
Yeah, started playing football about kindergarten. I remember flag football. My coach ended up getting kicked out of a game. I guess I dove for a pylon, and that's not allowed. You're not allowed to dive in a little flag football. We won the championship, so been playing football has been really competitive. Used to run around my house with a Dante Hall jersey and pretend I was running back kickoff touchdowns. Being a Missouri kid watching the Chiefs, so always played football and loved it.
Well, that's fun to think about. Dante Hall, that's a name that takes us back. Cool. So that was kind of going to be one of my other questions, which obviously, like you grew up in Missouri, more than likely you're, probably a Chiefs fan. And
Actually,
so
actually a Rams fan.
a
Uh,
Ram,
yeah,
Rams once upon a time. I
yeah,
guess it just depends on when you come in.
I'm still rooting for the Rams. It's hard, but what a game. Stafford yesterday at 44-42 win, but it was awesome to see the Rams. You know, win a Super Bowl, even though they left St. Louis. But I'm still a fan of them.
Hey, that's fine. We can still cheer for them. But I was thinking, again, you're growing up, you're, pretending to be like these guys that aren't your position. But guys that are playing your position at the next level, like, are there guys that you were a big fan of growing up that maybe you tried to emulate or what?
Yeah, I think I grew up really obviously liking Tom Brady. He's one of the best to do it, and kind of an underwhelming athlete. I think I'm obviously a better athlete than he was, but someone that did it by leadership and by grittiness and by focus on details. So I really appreciate watching him. Joe Burrow is a guy I really love right now. Kind of swag when I was in high school, kind of took the storm of the college field. So those are two guys I really like.
Nice. And again, went to Camdenton High School there in Missouri. And like I had mentioned, also played some other sports, some basketball, some baseball. Um, your fondest memory from your high school days, can you share something?
Ooh, fondest memory. That's a good one. I think the one that changed my life the most was probably my junior year. We lost to Webb City in the state quarterfinals by an extra point, and that's something that's really stuck with me. To see seniors not get to play their last game, guys you cared about so much, and it kind of trajected my life to take football more seriously, to cherish relationships. So I'd say that's a moment, even though it kind of ended bad, it's super fun. I look back at a lot, and I really enjoyed it. And then probably my last basketball game. So scored 40 points and hit a game winner on a senior night. So it was pretty sweet to walk out the stage like that.
Awesome. So 40 points is a pretty darn good basketball player. Did you ever think that maybe you might have an opportunity to play that at the collegiate level?
Yeah, so Missouri Southern, they actually were my first football offer, and then they told me I could play basketball there as well. So I was, thinking about playing some Division II football and basketball, kind of keep the dream going, like high school wise. But to to really want to play in the NFL, I felt like I needed to focus on football.
Gotcha. Well, Paxton, found yourself in an awkward predicament, obviously, as you finished up football in high school, because we're coming into the pandemic and we're wondering what in the hell we're doing with football. And so I don't know if that played into some of your recruiting coming out of high school at all, but I mean, you end up beginning at Central Methodist, which is an NAIA school. Talk about your time there.
Yeah, so Central Methodist, obviously it's kind of not the dreams that you thought you were going to have. Class four player of the year, and you're kind of like, man, you did a lot of great things, but it was super humbling. I learned so much about myself, about my faith, about I would just say teammates from other cultures, and then just being able to really just make friendships and learn the game, past like the high school level. And in high school, I played a very basic spread offense, threw it 50 times a game. We spread it out, and we didn't do a whole lot. So to really learn, some fundamentals to the football aspect that I didn't have, those definitely, helped, me as a player. But I would say it was just, a really great opportunity to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you were there for a little bit. You were an all-conference athlete there, but let's just face it. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to try and get, further, maybe even, try and get yourself to the professional scene, you had to get yourself out of there, get yourself an opportunity to play at the Division I level, which is obviously where you've been at SEMO. So talk me through that change where you were transferring from Central Methodist.
Yeah, so Central Methodist, since they're not NCAA, it's NAIA. There's no portal. There's no like just free entry where you're in this lot of names and people know. So it's kind of just like high school recruiting all over again. So I remember for a couple Christmases, I told my mom, I said, I don't want anything. I don't want anything for my birthday. I wanted to come to every single game and record the games because film was pretty bad. So she recorded every single game in a good seat, every one of my NAIA games. And then we sent every single school, FBS and FCS, an email to every single coach on their offensive staff. So offensive coordinator all the way to the offensive analysts. We sent every single one an email customized to their name, to the school, some information. And then we sent a handwritten letter to my top 5 schools. And I got 8 emails opened. I think 4 responded. Mississippi State was the biggest. They shut me down, but it was cool to hear from them and tell them that they thought I was, talented enough to play at this level somewhere. And then SEMO, Coach Tuke actually got a handwritten letter from my mom. It was a, in-state school we felt like I had an opportunity to play at. And he opened that letter and gave me a call on a Thursday night. I'm at my school cafeteria at Central Methodist, get a call, pick up the phone, already got the letter where you can contact schools and whatnot, and talk to him for 50 minutes. And I'm on a visit the very next day. I'm at SEMO on Friday, full scholarship on Sunday, and I decided to sign it. It was, kind of late in December, and right then all I had was Northern Colorado and Lindenwood, and I felt like SEMO was probably the best opportunity for me.
Yeah, and I think at the time Lindenwood was probably D2. They hadn't moved up yet, I think.
Yeah, I kind of had the rumor that they just announced it, so I kind of I don't know, I had the fast track on that. One of my teammates at Central Methodist dates Coach Stug's daughter, so I kind of sent it to them knowing they were going to the Division I.
Well, neat. I mean, hey, I mean, obviously you and your mom decided to go hardcore trying to get you, opportunities. You're sending all those emails and everything, but I mean, hey, SEMO is a really good school. I mean, they gave you an opportunity, and when I've been watching and keeping track of their players over the past few seasons, I see a very prolific offense. Can you talk a little bit about really SEMO as a whole, and then let's talk about that offense?
Yeah, SEMO is kind of a hardworking program. Blue collared, kind of serves that same area of the community. So Coach Tuke, our foundational term is brick by brick. So we're going to do everything, each thing to the standard, and just lay on that and do it every single day. Sign off your best in everything we do. So I had a great time at SEMO. I felt like it was a great program that taught you to become a better man. It taught you simple things like your yes mean yes and your no mean no. That's big stuff, and that was great. That's kind of the program stance. And then as an offense, Coach McDowell did a great job each year transitioning to our skill players. I mean, I can't I can't thank him enough for everything that he did. He's the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator there. And my first year, I think we threw for 2,000 and ran for 2,000 and had 20 rushing touchdowns by Geno Hess, who was, an FCS, you know, household name, SEMO, everything. So, and then this year, we throw it for 4,000 yards and all that. So I think, Coach McDowell did a good job of setting up the offense, finding out what I was good at, what our other players were good at, what we had in at the O line room. And yeah, he set up, kind of your basic college offense, based out of 10 and 11 personnel, running zone and some gap scheme runs. And then, obviously your typical passing concepts.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, listening to you. I know forever SEMO had a very solid run game, and it was all Geno Hess, Geno Hess, Geno Hess for like forever, man. He owns like damn near every single rushing record there. He's a legend there for SEMO for sure. So I had a chance to interview him a while back, and the other thing lately that SEMO has been doing is you've had some great receivers to throw to.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about these guys over the past couple seasons.
Man, wide receiver U is what I've been saying. We are bringing people in. I think, it starts with Christian Wilkerson. You go back and the things he's doing in the NFL, he's scoring touchdowns in preseason games and getting a couple in the regular season. And then the guys I got to play with, I'll start with Johnny King. He put in the CFL a little bit. Great 6'5" receiver, great route runner, and real chill kid from Florida. He was awesome, and obviously last year, we had Ryan, or 2 years ago, I guess now, we had Ryan Flournoy and Demore Vick, who were, standout Ryans, obviously in the Cowboys, getting some playing time, had a couple catches on the season. So it's great to stay in contact with him and see, he was just an unbelievable worker, freak athlete, but someone that really loved football. And Vic, he was coming from us from Missouri State, could do it all. Really, really savvy, really understood space, smart receiver, and great size. And then this year, I had, I would say, the most underwhelming but high performing receivers that I ever had. Like, you look at the receiving group this year, Dorian probably get an opportunity, maybe a camp invite or something like that, because he has elite size and put up, 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. But before the season, he's really raw. He hasn't played football that long, coming from Shorter University. And I was really happy with his leadership and his ability to get better this year and really buy into what I was preaching on him. And then Tristan Smith, we got him from Hutch, and Cam Pedro from Marshall. Those guys were a solid group of three receivers. So I've definitely been blessed with some great guys.
Yeah, I mean, whoever does the recruiting for wide receivers there, I mean, they do a damn good job. And I
I did.
swear, they really, I mean, and I mean no offense to SEMO, but I mean, they need to get opportunities at like a really big school. It would be definitely, suiting if they would get some looks at like, a high class elite school. So kudos to you guys. It just seems like every year, like there's some freakish athlete, some huge target to throw to. I mean, they always find ways of bringing in guys. So cool. So Paxton, let's look at you as a prospect. Again, I started this thing saying, very prolific quarterback in a very, I guess pass heavy, system this past year, and just kind of blew it up. But what do you feel separates you from other guys at your position? Can you talk to me about what you feel are some of your better traits as an athlete?
Yeah, I think in my ability to process fast. I think post snap there's few better than me, and my preparation during the week is going to be elite. I've had the opportunity to go to the Manning camp. To Sean Hill, an ex NFL quarterback, lives about 20 minutes from my hometown, and has worked with me and prepped me for game film and how the process should look during the week. So I think my preparation is like an NFL quarterback in a process. So I think my preparation, my ability to process fast, and I'm highly accurate. And believe it or not, I think I'm a pretty good playmaker when it needs to happen. I've always, I think it comes back from my high school we used to run around 50 times. We didn't really have a setup. So I think, ability to process, prepare, be highly accurate, and play make when you have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, people don't necessarily look at you as a mobile quarterback. It's more or less a guy who is a pocket passer. And I didn't know, I mean, again, you kind of alluded to it somewhat. Are people sleeping on that athleticism or what?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I can dunk. I'm running probably a 4.75 40. Like I don't. I'm gonna run a good pro agility. I've always played a lot of sports, can change direction good. So like every level I've been, people have told me I'm not athletic enough, and I've never had a problem with getting away from sacks. So I'm excited to see what this next level. Obviously, the athletes are the best of the best, but I mean, even when we played Iowa State, Kansas State, I was able to elude, and those were the games I ran for the most yards in my Division One career. So definitely feel like I can.
Cool. Well, Paxton, obviously you've had some great moments, but you've also had some challenges along the way, if we're being real. I mean, of course, coming out of high school, it took a while for you to really establish yourself and be the guy. And then, of course, I know over the years being dinged up here and there, it's been a struggle. And so when you're I guess, faced with these sorts of things, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going?
Yeah, I'd say my faith in Jesus Christ has been something that I've leaned on so much during my college days. I feel like He really has a plan and purpose for me. And Paul writes, "Consider it, great joy when your trials and great perseverance is built up through that." I know I kind of here and there those verses I'm picking and pulling from a couple verses, but things I've leaned on, and I've been really intrinsically motivated my whole life. I'm someone that kind of knew what I wanted to do from a young age, and not many things are going to set me back. I've had a positive outlook, and you know each setback is just how you answer as an opportunity, is what Coach Tuke would always say. Every failure, every outcome is just an opportunity, and you just got to reverse engineer, get to the problem, and get better. So it's something I've really prided myself on.
Yeah, and I mean, even with all the setbacks, I mean, obviously, dude, this past season was phenomenal for you. Just want to go over a couple of these stats because I think they're awesome. Over 4,000 yards passing, 33 touchdowns. This past season was you know, you were what, the offensive player of the year for your conference. Just a lot of great things, that you were able to accomplish this past season. When we kind of reflect on you and your career, what are some moments that you can maybe look back upon and, that we can still talk about? Are there some games or some moments that we can kind of chat through?
I think UT Martin this year, back down from down 14 in the fourth quarter, score it, tie it up, and then send it to overtime, and then score again in overtime. And then the second overtime, we're third and 28, sitting about our own 47-yard line or somewhere around there, and we throw a big deep out to Dorian. He tight turns inside, and we get into field goal range, and DC iced it for the game winner. But to beat UT Martin, which ended up saving our season, the early game, able to clinch the conference and the tiebreaker, be able to get us in the playoffs. That was something that was a huge game, and just the belief and being down 14. And we threw it that game, I think, 63 times and handed it off 4 times. So that was a game, I'll never remember, just putting the ball in my hands and let me rock.
I mean, I do think it's interesting because we've talked about it a couple different times that, you have been in different offenses where, sometimes you relied heavily on the run game, and then other times you do have to throw it for like 50, 60 times in order to come out with the victory in the end. I do feel like that helps you as a prospect in the long run. Is there more that you'd have to say with regards to that?
I think it definitely shows that I'm willing to win whatever way it takes. I'm not a selfish player. I'm a complete competitor in anything and everything I do. That's what I think also sets an edge for me compared to other guys. I want to win, and whatever it takes. If you need me to run a QB sneak or QB power, if you need me to hand it off 50 times, or you need me to be the man and take it over, I can do it all, and I'm willing to do it all for the team and the betterment. So I think that's something that's definitely gonna help me in the long run.
Yeah, and you definitely did that this season. I mean, even though you guys didn't necessarily finish the way that you wanted, you still put together a very solid season. So nothing to be ashamed of at all. I mean, I feel like you walked away strong, and now you're looking into this draft, man. When you think about yourself as an NFL prospect, has it sunk in yet that you're an NFL prospect? Have you been able to take a deep breath and now kind of take all that in, or what?
I think a little bit. It's been crazy. I made my whatever my draft announcement. Just just to see my family, like how much it means to them too, to realize a part of my dream is been accomplished, and you get this opportunity, and it's no longer such a far-fetched one. I've got to talk to plenty of NFL scouts, and I truly believe a great pro day and all that stuff. Maybe you sneak into the seventh round, but you're probably a priority free agent guy, and you get an opportunity to be a get rookie mini camp and find a way to get on a roster and see where life takes you. But it's so awesome to know that like it's in grasp. You work so hard, and you almost it's deserving because I know how much I put into it. But it's awesome. That was a great question, and I'm definitely
No, it's
happy about
fine. I
it.
mean, I think it's nice to realize those expectations and achieve your goals, and you're going to get those opportunities here soon, being in some training camp somewhere for sure there, Paxton. Do you want to take an opportunity to meet the guy under the helmet, though? We've learned a little bit about you, but I mean, I kind of want to get at least a little bit more out of you if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Whether it be your hobbies, your interests, any other passions in life or anything like that, secret talents, fun facts, anything you want to share about yourself, hit me with something.
Yeah, so my biggest, goal in life is to be a servant of Jesus Christ. So I got to speak at Fields of Faith this year at SEMO. So got to have the whole community and got to do plenty of things like that. And that's what really means the most to me to be able to share my faith and my story and just live a positive outlook. Like Jesus' greatest commandment to all of us is to love our neighbor as ourselves and to love our God with all our heart, soul, and mind. And if you embody those things, everything else is going to fall into place. So I think I'm just a very loving and in the moment person. I'm going to give everybody my all and do that, as a servant. And that's something that's a really great hobby of mine. Some other interests, anything competitive. I love playing ping pong. You know, I like cards. I like card tricks. I think those are things I've learned and can juggle. Did that at a young age. One of my grandpa, so he's probably one of my best friends, and one of his best friends brought me three juggling balls, and he said, "I'll be back in 5 hours." He says, "If you can juggle, I'll give you $20." So, golly, I learned how to juggle in 5 hours. That was pretty sweet when I was young, and something I've always learned how to do. So, those are kind of some things about me.
Such a motivation, I think. I'm going to hit you with a couple rapid fire fun questions just for the heck of it, okay?
Yeah.
Um, Favorite football movie?
Oh, favorite football movie, man. Probably Longest Yard.
Okay, interesting one there for sure. You a big superhero guy? You have like a favorite superhero or what?
I say Spider Man. I think the new Spider Man. I really like Tom Holland how he acts.
Okay. Let's say here, do you have any pets?
I do not, and I'm scared of dogs.
Okay, okay, that's an interesting fact, I suppose. Favorite snack food?
uh Favorite snack food, probably trail mix.
Trail mix. I mean, I'm thinking more so along the lines of something that's like I don't know, a little bit more like pleasurable. Do you have a sweet
Okay.
tooth for something or
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I like those white icing honey buns.
Those things are classic though. I like it.
Yeah. Those are put it in the microwave, and if you're really feeling a little frisky, a little butter, it gets crazy.
Favorite home cooked meal?
Spaghetti. Came from an Italian family. Yeah, my grandma makes the best from scratch spaghetti.
from scratch
Yeah,
spaghetti.
yeah.
So that's that you got to take some pride in that one for sure. See if there's anything else here on my list. Is there perhaps a celebrity that you love an opportunity to meet? Musician, actor, athlete, who would that be for you?
Uh, Probably Tom Brady. I'd love to just sit down and just hear the game from him and get to know, what he felt like really separated him and his drive and all that.
Anybody outside of sports? Like you a big fan of like any particular music artist or what?
Uh, I don't know. Not really. I don't got anything for you. I don't really
No,
listen to a whole lot of music.
that's okay. I'm just trying to pick your brain a little bit, just have a
Yeah.
little fun with you, so it's all good. Uh, Paxton been fun just to kind of shoot the breeze, get a chance to meet you. Man of faith who has had an excellent college career. As we close up shop, any final thoughts to anyone, maybe doubters out there or scouts that you might want to say, what you'd give to their team if they took a chance on you? So hit them with your pitch. Go for
Yeah, I think if you're taking someone like me, you're getting a guy that's going to get better. I'd say 4 years ago, if I was better than 90% of high school quarterbacks, I'd say right now I'm better than probably 98% of college quarterbacks. In 5 more years, I think I'll be right there in the top 1%. So I'm someone that's going to continue to get better. Still got a lot of potential. Uh, Someone that's never going to give in, give it my all. And I think I'm a great leader, and I'm willing to participate in my role. Whether that's a servant leader or just a servant, whatever's going to help the team get better. And I'm a proven winner, and that's something that I plan on doing wherever I go.
I mean, definitely a guy who I can see playing at the next level. Obviously not sure the role, of course, but I mean, we'll figure that stuff out here very soon. I mean, we have the draft coming up, and then of course afterwards we'll ultimately figure out where you're
Yeah,
going to end up, man. I mean, whether it be, you know, the Rams, the Chiefs, or some other team. I have other possibilities in my head, but we can chat about that like whenever we, hit stop on the, as we're recording. But Paxton, I want to wish you all the best in this process. Okay.
thank you. God bless.
Thanks, man. You too. Once again, I got with me Paxton DeLaurent, quarterback out of SEMO. Check him out.